Welcome back to our channel. Today we will continue explore the concept of the path to health and longevity through diet. In this ancient sea where fish, shrimp, turtles, and sea cucumbers roamed, where coal and seashells adorned the depths, and had never been mention of horses. Inexplicably, an exceptional horse-like being known as the Horse King frequently appeared along the shores of a desolate island. This Horse King possessed a pristine white appearance akin to pure savor, on snow transcending the realms of ordinary existence. When he moved, it was as if he rode upon the field clouds, and his voice was akin to the mesmeric. Amid the known creatures of this world, such as fish, shrimp, and other marine life, the presence of a horse was indeed an anomaly. The Horse King's origins resided in mystery. But according to the local folklore, there was an intriguing story behind his existence. In ancient times, when 500 merchants embarked on a journey across the vast sea in pursuit of treasures, both first offered prayers to the sea deities for safe passage. With 5 experienced shipmasters guiding them, they set sail with ample supplies. However, as they journeyed across the sea, they encountered a fierce tempest that capsized their vessels, leaving them stranded on an uncharted island. Unexpectedly, this island was in the lockdown. Seeing the distressed merchants initially extended their assistance and guided them to a city concealed within the island. The lockdown, with annoying appearance, had ulterior motives. Is their enticing beauty to ensnare the merchants and subject them to various forms of seduction and manipulation. The merchants, helpless and bewildered, soon fell victim to these enchanting women. Some even began to weep softly, their courage waning as they struggled to resist. The locked-out women had not lured the merchants for kindness' sake. Instead, they nanny imprisoned the merchants within the iron city environment for its idyllic surroundings. Inside the city walls, the merchants were subject to various forms of manipulation and deception as they were gradually led to bond with the locked-out women. Terrified by this ordeal, the merchants found themselves in a difficult situation, yet their resolve remained strong as they sought answers. In a city, they encountered a wise merchant known for his keen intelligence and sharp intuition. This merchant harbored a deep curiosity about the forbidden southern part of the city. With a clandestine yearning to explore the uncharted territory, he concealed his intentions, pondering what secrets might be hidden there. He pondered what lies in that place. When women sleep at night, I must investigate to unravel this mystery. The merchant's curiosity led him to take action one fateful night. As he listened to the symphony of deep slumber that enveloped the city, he silently rose and ventured to explore the uncharted part of the city. However, his exploration led to a chilling revelation. As he journeyed through the city's dark alleyways, he stumbled upon a disturbing sight. The inhabitants, both the living and deceased, were subjected to unspeakable suffering. Some had been devoured by their fellow merchants, with their flesh torn asunder in half. Others, not yet deceased, were in excruciating agony, emaciated to the point of becoming mere skeletons. Bearing witness to this horrifying tableau, the merchant was seized by a deep sense of dread. His heart raced and his body trembled. He realized that the people in the city had resorted to cannibalism to survive. At this moment, his ears were assailed by haunting cries. It was the lament of those who had fallen prey to this horrific fate. The merchant found his voice, and choking back tears, he made a solemn vow to free the people from this torment. He decided to seize the opportunity when, in a moment of compassion, opened the gates of the city. When the merchant approached the city walls, he was unable to find the city gate. Instead, he noticed a towering tree at the city walls. Climbing the tree, he poured over the wall into the city. And what he saw both terrified and astounded him. Inside the city, the women who had captivated the merchants were now feasting upon their hapless victims. The cries of the doomed souls mingled with the horrific sounds of gnashing teeth and the slurping of flesh. Witnessing this grotesque spectacle, the merchant was filled with profound sorrow. The city had become a nightmarish realm where the inhabitants, overcome by their base desires, had forsaken their humanity and become monsters. The merchant's heart was heavy, but he knew that he must act to save the suffering souls. The merchant, now filled with determination, descended from a tree and approached the city walls he ward inside. There he confronted a formidable obstacle. The women who had earlier imprisoned them, that they had no power over his resolve. In the dead of night, in this Buddhist text, the narrative describes a place where people faced dire circumstances. Half of them had fallen prey to malevolent beings, and only a few survivors remained. Initially, the benevolent female residents welcomed the newcomers, and you even had children with them. These females appeared charming, but they were in reality malevolent entities that consumed both their own offspring and the newcomers. Their hearts were devoid of compassion. In response to their suffering, residents of this place desired to escape, but the inhabitants of the city nearby added to their fear with ominous words. They sought a way to leave, but were met with the cryptic response that there was one chance of salvation. A mythical figure known as Shishi appeared on the night of the full moon in April each year. This enigmatic figure had a radiant silver body, a head covered in jet black hair, and moved like the wind. When Shishi arrived at the shoreline, they revealed their upper body and spoke to the people asking who desired to cross the treacherous waters. Shishi offered a safe passage for those in need. To locate Shishi was the only path to salvation. To preserve this secret, they emphasized the need for secrecy and discouraged discussing it with others, as it could put them in danger. In this perilous setting, people within the city were questioning their misfortune. When lamented and shed tears, and their cries were filled with sorrow and despair, yet they persisted. As the day of April 15th drew, one resident secretly shared the information with their fellow survivors, urging them not to let greed or desires for romance and wealth distract them. Instead, they should all gather at the shore on the night of the full moon in April and seek salvation from Shishi. The long-continued night finally arrived. The survivors nearby the forest silently made their way to the designated location by the sea. In the moment darkness, they finally saw Shishi emerging from the sea. Shishi spoke, offering salvation to those who wished to cross to the other side. Overwhelmed with joy, the people knelt and prostrated themselves, expressing their gratitude to this benevolent figure who had come to their rescue. They eagerly sought to cross the treacherous waters under Shishi's guidance, leaving behind their tales of sorrow and suffering in the hope of a brighter future. "We are willing to heed your words, please let us," said the people. The benevolent figure, who can be likened to the compassionate Buddha, responded, "You must know that before long malevolent beings will approach. They will hold their children and pretend to imploring you stay behind. In that moment you must not let greed and attachment cloud your judgment. If you think, these riches are not my own, I'm not truly my own, I need mask only a single strand of my hair, I would safely guide you to a place of refuge." Upon sharing these words, the benevolent figure invited the people to mount their back or hold on to their phone, and they swiftly traversed the land like the wind. Just as forewarned, the malevolent beings appeared, lamenting and asking why the people chose to leave. They questioned why the people abandoned them, and by clinging to the benevolent figure, were said to be saved. The people did not waver in their determination to follow the benevolent figure's guidance. even as the malevolent beings. Sorrowful cries fill the air. As a benevolent figure lead the people safely to the shore, they proclaimed, "This figure is your deliverer. You are the 50 followers and who are like 100,000. Remember that by simply holding a single strand of my hair, you will be saved. If someone recites the name of the Buddha with unwavering dedication, even once that person shall attain enlightenment. If you can recall this, you will all be liberated." In the Buddhist scriptures, the benevolent figure stands as a representation of the Buddha's compassion, guiding those who had lost their way and teaching the path to liberation. The story conveys a profound message of the importance of relinquishing worldly attachments and desires in the quest for spiritual enlightenment. Just as the benevolent figure saved those who held onto a single strand of hair, it is emphasized that a sincere and faithful recitation of the Buddhist name can lead to spiritual liberation. The narrative underscores the Buddha's compassion and the potential for enlightenment even in the most challenging circumstances. As we conclude our journey through the depths of Buddhist wisdom and the enigmatic city of Lhasa, we're reminded of the enduring power of ancient teachings on our quest for enlightenment. Just as the residents of this treacherous city found salvation through unwavering faith and relinquishing desires, we too can draw inspiration to navigate the complexities of our lives with wisdom and compassion. The benevolent figure symbolizing the compassionate Buddha serves as a beacon of hope, guiding us through the storms of existence towards spiritual liberation. It is remembered that enlightenment is within reach for those who hold on to a single strand of faith and embrace the timeless teachings of Buddhism. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. And until next